Today we have Brad Stroh, who is co-CEO of Freedom Financial, and we're going to have a very exciting discussion today because we're talking about debt solutions. We never hear those two words together, unfortunately. You know, everyone I know is plagued with debt. They're overwhelmed with the responsibilities, and there really don't seem to be any viable options.
There's no question. Unfortunately, debt's a bigger problem than it's ever been before, impacting millions of Americans and families in ways that it never has before. I think when we look back on this decade, we're going to consider it the decade of debt. And consumers either make the decision today to deal with some of those serious problems in a direct way, or essentially you're passing that debt problem on to even the next decade, unfortunately.
So what are really some viable options that are available to us?
So you've got a bunch of options still available for a consumer. Historically, people would try to refinance their home if they had equity. Obviously, for millions of people, that's off the table because of home price slowdowns. You still have options such as credit counseling. We've got an innovative solution with Freedom Debt Relief called debt settlement. Some facts consumers aren't aware of: if you have $30,000 of credit card debt, it could take you 15 years and cost you more than $100,000 to pay that debt off. Credit counseling, where you can lower your interest rates a little bit, it could cost you $42,000 over about 5 years to get out. Our program at Freedom Debt Relief, we're able to negotiate people out of their balances for less than the principal that they owe, typically around half of what they're owing, and get them out of debt in a short amount of time. Monthly payment, too, that's typically the pain point for the average consumer. If you're paying your minimum monthly payments on $30,000 of debt, it's typically right around $1,000 or $1,200 a month that you have to pay. With Freedom Debt Relief, it's a program that could get your monthly payment down, cut about in half, as low as $450 or $500 a month. That really meets a lot of people's budgets and helps them solve that debt problem.
So what are the steps we would need to take to become part of the program, to qualify?
Sure. So it's a service we provide. It's not credit score based. So even if you have bad credit or don't have a lot of free cash flow available, no problem. It's really designed for people with serious financial hardship. Typically that's $10,000 or more of credit card debt. And if you're really struggling with that financial hardship, and then on top of it have a real intent and willingness where you want to solve that problem and get out of debt. And lastly, can afford to put aside about half of what your current minimum monthly payments are towards the resolution of your debts.
Now, do you have any examples of perhaps someone who's gone through the program, a graduate, so to speak, of your program?
Yeah, we actually brought in a neat case study. A woman named Sue she came to us with $30,000 of credit card debt. She'd just been through a tough divorce. She had some medical problems and couldn't afford to keep up with her debts anymore. We were able to put her on a budget, a monthly budget that met her budgeting goals. And we actually just finished completing her. We saved her about half of what she owed, and we actually brought in a great settlement letter where we're proud to have saved her 70% of what she owed to one of her creditors. But on the whole, she saved a ton of money, got out of debt in about 2 years, and is back to a financial stable position again.
That's wonderful for her. You know, what I'm hearing you say is that you have a simple solution for saving money and essentially getting out of debt and freeing your life, controlling this part of your life, your finances.
Well, I like that word control, because what we do is we let consumers take control of getting out of debt in a short amount of time for a low cost with a monthly payment that really meets their monthly budgeting goals. It's not perfect, there's no pain, no gain, but it's really the best way for people that have serious debt problems to solve it in a short amount of time and be debt-free fast.
Brad, thank you so much for being on the show today. How do we reach you?
So you can get us online. freedomdebtrelief.com is a great spot to find us, or if you want to call and get a free consultation, you can call in anytime at 1-800-705-7030. That's 800-705-7030. Get a free consultation and see how much you could save.
And if you want more information, just call 1-800-705-7030.